What is up, good people? We're back with another fun and exciting episode of Business Growth Time. With me today, as always, is the one and only Janet E. Johnson. I'm not going to get into all the greatness and carry on about what a wonderful individual and massive marketing maven that she is in the world of Facebook and Instagram ads. You people have heard that. Today, I'm just going to tell you that the E stands for executive presence. Ooh, Janet E. Johnson caught being on mute. What's going on?
Hi, how are you? Oh, my son,
These
decides to answer
people,
a call just as we get started.
of course, just in time, right? I'm
So
like,
when that happened, what was the E word? I actually missed it.
the E word was executive presence,
Oh my, that's
isn't
some
it?
big terminology, Terry. Where did that come from?
I was thinking about E words today, and executive presence came up because I'm in my hoodie. Very, very
I don't
executive
feel like we're
presence.
having an executive presence at this moment, but okay.
So sometimes we talk about what to do, and today we're talking about what not to
Not
do.
to do.
How to
Okay.
not have executive presence. Wear a hoodie on your
You
podcast.
know what though? The way the world has been in the last 2 years, it doesn't matter anymore. This is an executive presence, really. I
That's,
mean, it doesn't
that's
make any difference.
that's
So I like
exactly
it.
it. I'm wearing pants. Listen, that's a very executive of me
That's
today.
well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Mine's always
So
yoga pants, so
yeah, that's it.
always.
You know what? That's a good point. I mean, it's basically bust up, right? And
Hmm.
that's we're not trying to be all like, hey, look at my pants, right? I don't think you ever even seen any of my cool pairs of socks. I can't
Nope.
stand socks, Janet E. Johnson. I dislike them
Oh,
a
really?
lot.
I have furry socks. I got flamingo socks. I don't know. I got all sorts of.
Flamingo socks. Do you have furry
Actually,
flamingo socks?
you're gonna die today is flamingos. It's got a flamingo
It's,
on it.
and now we've broken new ground. 176 episodes in, people. You've seen Janet socks. All right.
But Terry, we want to see yours.
Nobody wants, attached to my legs, and it just gets
That's
uglier. The lower it starts. It's bad. All right. So, hey, you know what I did recently? I put up a whole brand new website. Have you seen it yet?
I
Because
did
it
look at
it
it,
would
but
be
let's
kind of
look
fun to
at it
have
again.
you do a little critiquing of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it was
And
beautiful. I did see on my phone. So it fit mobily, which is
nice,
very, very important. You got it. I
very
mean, nowadays,
2022.
I don't even think that there's a point in doing a website without that you know what's very, very interesting about this? I was redoing my site and it looked just like this.
You mean in terms of the theme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
wondered,
well,
but then I never got to doing it. So that's
I
very, very interesting. It's actually the theme that I picked.
So let's start with themes, right?
Okay.
The theme came from Divi from a company called elegantthemes.com.
Yep.
And the theme's
Yep.
like, I don't know, $60 or something like that. And what's beautiful about themes is it's basically a plug and play template. It gives you all of the structure and the formatting and changes the colors and has places to add pictures. And in the way Divi works is you can put little sliders in, or you can put web forms in, or you can attach video or upload more images, and you can keep changing the structure
Did
and
you
the
do all
look.
this yourself?
I worked with a company called freewebsites.com.
Okay.
And what they do is they basically work with WordPress, and they set the theme up so that everything's connected. And when you add links, it goes to the right place. And they add the Jetpack for site stats, and they add Yoast SEO that scores whether your SEO is good. And
I use Yoast. We use Yoast on Business Growth Time website too. Yep.
so, we before we get too much into this, the whole idea in today's episode is to kind of walk you through a process of rebuilding or resetting up your website, or maybe even a checklist of things that you need to make sure is on your website. So that's kind of why we're talking about it. Also, to encourage you to go to trybean.com and check out the freshly minted website, because it's not even a week old yet. I'm excited about.
Very cool. Now let me ask you a couple questions to start.
Yeah.
What made you decide on the orange color for the theme? Like, was that there, or is that your brand now, or what's your thoughts there?
So if you go to the speaking page, you'll actually see my brand colors, my 2022 brand colors, and I'll tell you a very good story about how those were chosen. So for years, I rocked red, right? Just straight red. My magnet,
Black,
my
red,
end
white,
magnet,
basically.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
And red is the lowest energy color on the, and from a frequency perspective, right? Think about the rainbow. Red is low, right? Indigo and actually violet is the highest color on the rainbow, right? So as you go up, the frequency rises. So low frequency people are attracted to red, high frequency people are attracted to purple, and it scales up in between. And so I was like, maybe I don't want to be attracting low frequency people. So red's not the answer. And so then I became fascinated with indigo blue, right? It's a really bright, royal, like just metallic blue color. And it's at the top of the rainbow. And everybody made fun of it because evidently indigo is like the first color that showed up in 1988. They're like, you can't use this. This is not a good brand look. So I was like, all right, fair enough. So I'm like, what do I want it to be? And orange has been the color for Motor City Connect for 16 or 17 years.
Ah,
So I've had that, and I've been really fascinated by the idea of keeping fire and water in a harmonious nature. So if you can see
oh,
this little
sure.
necklace, it's yin and yang, right? With fire on top, water on the bottom.
Orange for
And
fire
yeah,
with greenish blue that you have for the water.
for the water,
Got
right?
it.
So I'm like, dude, sun and sea. I'm going sun and sea in 2022. So that was, it's
And they
not the
look good.
exact
They're good branding colors together. Yeah.
it's not the exact blue and it's not the
Complement each
exact
other. Yep.
orange, but they play nicely together and it's close enough.
Yeah. So it looks very, very nice. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have a deep, deep pink and I want to change that pink, but I do like my turquoise color. So, but
Yeah.
changing out everything, I just can't think about it.
It
But
gives you a headache, right? But I was starting brand new. So I'm
yeah,
like, you know what? I need something that I can feel good about and that resonates with people. And orange is bright and cheery and turquoise is cool and relaxed and chill. And I'm like, I'm bright, cheery, cool, relaxed, and chill. So yeah, let's go with those
now
colors.
before you started the website, did you know your colors and fonts?
I had no clue, and I'm not even sure I know what my fonts are to this very moment, right? So at 11:42 on this day, I
I
don't know
finally,
what my fonts.
I built years and years and years ago when I started my business. I like didn't know what the brand, and now we have a very specific branding. Like we know the fonts, we know the. So the one thing you want to do is get those color numbers, write them all on a Word doc, and
Yeah,
or whatever, and get the color numbers and the fonts. And then when you're creating things across the board on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn, you want to just continuously use those. And you can pull them right into Canva if you're using Canva or anything like that. But it's just
and
easy to have it all laid out so that you know your exacts. So,
that's a great idea because I do, and that's one of the things that I'm thinking about. And it's so funny because like my little emojis on my phone, I have an orange heart and kind of a bluish heart.
yep,
And I'm
yep.
like, I'm only sending those two now. I used to send purple hearts all the time. No more purple, only blue and orange,
Come on, the
right?
Prince. You're giving up on the Prince stuff?
I'm going Prince, the Vikings, right? It's one and the same as far as I'm concerned,
Exactly.
but it's yeah, man. It's no longer on brand for me. So
Oh boy. Oh boy.
it's
Okay.
a big day.
That's great.
So but that's
Okay. So
great
you started
advice
with the
about picking the
template.
colors. Started with
Start
the
with the
template.
template and say and do this free people the free, how does that work? Who what was the name of the company?
I'm gonna pull it up so I say it exactly right.
Okay.
I don't wanna tell you. TheFreeWebsiteGuys.com. TheFreeWebsiteGuys.com.
Do they get a monthly fee?
So I paid them literally $0. One of the things that they needed was for me to do my hosting at Bluehost, and they're an affiliate of Bluehost.
Makes sense.
So they get paid from Bluehost. And what they really do is they put this offer out to build your website for free, and they get, 100 people that say, hey, I'm looking to get a website, and they pick 10 that they're going to build for free. And I'm assuming that they actually sell a bunch of people on the flip side of it, right? So it's a great marketing strategy. And
Did you have to
then
buy the template or did they pay for the, or
I,
was it part of
I
theirs?
I had to pay for the template as well. So I bought the template. I have to pay for hosting. Um,
Oh, where'd you buy the template from? I think that's an affiliate program too. If you
yeah,
went through their
elegant
link. Awesome.
elegant designs,
So
right? And
they're
they,
just doing
they
affiliate marketing, I think.
yeah, and
That's,
they
I'm always intrigued at marketers and what they do, so that's interesting. Hmm.
right. But I mean, how much money can they make on a $60 theme or a $60
Well, they
hosting
get the
program?
recurring.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's just do the number. Right now, I'm paying 22 at Bluehost. I don't know what I'm paying for, but 22 bucks a month is what I pay for Bluehost. But it was at like 4.99 at one point. I don't know what happened, but let's just say they make half. Let's just say
Hmm.
it's $20 and they make half. They make 10 bucks. Let's say
So
they
120
had
a year.
1,000 people
Yeah.
that they did this with. That's 10 grand a month, and they hardly have to do any work. Terry, we're in the wrong business. Just
We're in
kidding.
the wrong business. Now we're talking business models, people. So it was
Interesting.
kind of cool. I went through 60 different website templates on elegantthemes.com, and they only had one that was designed for coaching. And so I was like, well, I want this to be a more
Yep.
coaching focused with a speaker page on it. And in hindsight, when I wrote the first piece of content, I wrote it as the homepage. And realistically, the about page feels more like a homepage to me than the homepage does. But maybe I change that at some point. Maybe I don't. I am,
You know the
you
number
know,
one page on a website that people go to?
skip video. Oh wait,
Not
that's not a
home.
page.
Not
Not home.
home. The
Is
about.
it the about page? Is it?
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Number one
Well,
place they go. So
that's
that's,
good.
yeah.
I was
So
hoping it
don't,
was contact. Go to
no,
the contact page. So I
that's
got
true.
uh, I got all of that stuff done, and it took, because it's all freshly written, right? I think I copied and pasted one thing from my old site, and the rest of it was all, I'm just writing it fresh. I'm going to start over. And so it was a great experience. It allows you to really think through your messaging. It allows you to really think through who you're sending that messaging to. It allows you to think of your value proposition. It allows you to think about how it relates to the people you're talking about or talking to. So it was a great exercise. But I was joking with you earlier about TikTok. I started a TikTok channel too. Try being way Janet E. Johnson. I'm not very funny on TikTok. I'm very astute and studious. Um, but it's a good way to just kind of push more content out there. And I'm excited about that. And so I've been repurposing some old blogs, and with that Yoast SEO thing, it scores you how your post is structured from an SEO perspective. Gives you a score on your headline. It gives you multiple scores on your headline, and allows you to change them up to see what's going to be the most effective. And it tells you where you're missing stuff in terms of alt text on images, or if you have inbound links that go to your site, or outbound links that go to other people's site. And so it must be working, because I've already trashed a bunch of spam comments, and the site's not even a week old. So
You
I
might be able to
must have
turn
set it
those
up right.
off. I don't, yeah, that's interesting. Well, now, since it was trybean.com, your old one was trybean.com too, correct?
Exactly.
So I think you get some SEO power from having that other site that you've
The
had too.
longevity of the domain,
Mhm.
right? And
Yep,
that makes sense.
yep.
One thing that I wish they would have cautioned me on, I didn't save any of my old blog posts. And so they're saying I can go to my old host and get an instance of it.
I think
But
you
the
can.
the person that was hosting that site, when I told her I got a new one, it's like, okay, well, I canceled it. So it's all gone. So I don't know. I that's
We
gonna
back ours up in Dropbox.
Do you?
too. Hmm.
Well, and it's so funny. I was reading a blog post that I wrote back 14 years ago, whatever it was, talking about how I had written this whole blog post as an email originally, and then my computer died. And so I lost it all. And now I have to rewrite the whole blog post. And I said, I'm frustrated by this, especially considering I've made a similar mistake 7 times already this year. Right. And I have a horrible habit of writing things online. Something goes sideways and poof, it just happened to me again a week ago. And it's like you think you would learn to write in a document and then just copy and paste. But for whatever reason, my addle-minded brain can't wrap
That's
my
why
head around
Google
that.
Docs are so great because they
Uh,
automatically save for you. And you don't, Word, you used to have to hit the save button all the time. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's funny. That's good. So, your site. Okay, now have you ever heard of Storybrand? Just
Yeah.
that they're they actually have their book. That was a methodology that I was going to follow for mine. And so
Roger
Storybrand.
teaches that. We had Roger Burnett on as a guest last week. He teaches Storybrand.
Oh, does he teach that? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he mentioned it. Yeah, he did mention that's where it came up too. So anyway, Storybrand's one that, helps the Donald Miller is his name. And it's really good about, the website too. So like down the road, if you ever want to tweak that copy, you could always, look at Storybrand. So, and for anybody that's looking at a site, that's another good resource.
And that's a great idea, right? Because ultimately you want your prospects to see themselves in a picture, right? You want to paint a picture that they want to see themselves in.
Hmm.
And I'm not, I definitely could have done better at that. Again, for me, I was like, dude, the look, the feel, the
Get this
format,
thing up, you can always tweak it later.
and the content is,
Hmm.
the content's good enough. And I've been on an interesting journey with the difference between good enough, great, and perfect lately. So I've been trying to move closer to great. I don't believe in perfect.
Imperfect action. We talked about that a lot before.
It's so important, right? Do something, right?
Hmm.
If you wait for perfection, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
That's why when I posted the site, I'm like, it's not perfect, but if I waited for it to be perfect, no one would ever see it, right? Because
you'd
by
never
the
be done,
way,
and then you'd be focusing on that and not making money in your business. So focus needs
who,
to be like where are we going to convert to money in our business? That's going to convert better. Like I haven't read it or anything, but if you take a lot of time and do that story brand thing, it may convert better, but it's looking really good, and you've got the key points, the key elements. So like when I scroll down on your website, it goes into build your network, be better on social media, gain clarity and more accountability. Now, are those, well, wait, let's actually go above that. Business growth coaching and executive coaching, do those lead you to, well, let me click.
yeah, don't click.
They
That's not
lead
there yet.
they lead you to basically feeling informed to have a call, which you should. That's what you should be doing, really, is having a call with somebody. But that would be a place where, like on mine, I have Ads Evolution Coaching. It takes you to the sales page of it. But then my goal is still get on the phone, So that's and I love that you have Let's Talk at the top. The one thing that you're missing is an opt-in.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice. What does that mean?
always got to be list building. Always got to be list building. Is there an
So
opt-in somewhere in here?
yeah, in fact, I thought there was more than one of those.
Okay, weird.
So maybe I don't know exactly what an
Let's
opt-in
talk.
is.
Everything leads to the send message page from what I see.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna pick on you here.
Okay.
Um, but this
Yay.
is for everybody. Like this, people should know this. You do have a subscribe at the bottom, and it says subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribe and newsletter are the two worst wordings in the marketing world today.
Nice.
Do not use subscribe and do not use my newsletter. Like nobody wants to sign up for newsletter. Would you want to sign up for a newsletter?
No, it
Like
sounds boring.
Yes, thank you. So you've got to make that more exciting. Like, what are they? You just and instead of using the word subscribe, you use yes, I
Join.
want on the list, or
Yeah.
I want in exclamation point, or something like that. I also would collect their name, first name at least. First name, email. That way you can, when you're sending an email, you can say, hi, John, blah, 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 blah. So you can speak to that person. So
Love it. Yeah, it's on that's definitely on the blog page and it's on the contact page for sure. I'm trying to see if it's on
I
the
found it on the bottom of the contact page. Yep. Yep.
okay. Good.
Yep.
Good,
So
good,
that's
good.
good. But bottom line is if you can give them a lead magnet, that's what you probably want to go
Well,
for.
and
That's
that's what we were talking about. I used to have a little ebook on how to formulate your ask. And so it was great. But it never converted. But it never converted because I don't think anyone ever saw my
you
site
never
because
push it. Yep. Yep.
yeah, I didn't love my
Exactly.
site enough to send it to anybody, right? So if you're not putting in front of people, and now I've got a massive problem because my bean at trybean.com address is down. And so it's like son of a gun when I made the
Techie stuff.
transfer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's my former person cut everything before it was repopulated. So it's gonna be a day today fixing that.
Oh, fun, fun.
I
But,
just
overall, this site looks really, really good. And I think, how many hours would you say you put into it?
it's interesting because I tend to do my best work after 11 o'clock at night. So there's been a lot of 2:30, 3 a.m. going to bed. In fact, I went to bed about 5 after 4 this morning. So
I was in bed at
it's
9:30 last night.
it's basically the same then. Um, it's easily 30 at this point, but I have a tendency to underestimate how long things actually take. So it could be 1.5 times that.
But the
It's
bottom line is,
a week's worth of work.
that was a do-it-yourself type thing. Some people want to hire it, some people want to do it themselves, and yeah, that's it. It's really, you would never know. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know that that's a do-it-yourself. So,
And
so
that's
that's
and
the key.
that's the beauty of it, right? There are people who are like, "Oh my God, should you be a website designer now?" No, never,
There's beautiful
never.
templates out there that people can just put in there. Yep, exactly.
I will help you with your messaging. That's what I will help you do for your websites. Don't want me working on images. That was the pain, right? Is figuring out which picture goes where and not duplicating. And, especially when you are using a theme that's preloaded with images, and then you just trying to figure out how to change the image that's already there, right? And I'm like, wait, this whole button sequence worked last time. Why is it not working now? That's
And then
so
you got to
funny.
double check it on mobile too. Like, because
Yes.
sometimes mobile looks completely different and will cut off your head or something, So, yeah.
That's what happened on my main image on the home page, right? It cut off to about right above my glasses, which is kind of cool because no one knows I'm bald then, but it's not a good look. Not a good look.
Well, that's great. Well, okay, so it's trybean.com, Bean, like a typical
Yeah.
bean, and everything about Terry's there. Terry's up to a lot of new things. We're going to be talking about those in future podcasts too, the areas that you're working in. But now your top two on there say business growth coaching, which we're on business growth time. Gee, go figure.
It seems like a common theme in my world, eh?
And
Business
then
growth.
executive coaching. So those are kind of your two main themes that you have going on. Okay.
Yeah, and then the whole speaker page, right? And I tried to do that in a way that's gonna for meeting planners and event planners, and it's good. I'm excited about being able to share that. I built out a really nice one pager
Yep.
that
Yep.
the colors are complementary to this. So I look like I'm on brand, girl.
Wow, I'm impressed. Terry's doing a switcheroo. This is great.
Yeah, so you know what? The time I spent at PKIG right,
Yeah.
at the insurance company over the last year and a half, really taught me how to get focused in on priorities and to deliver, right? And so, I'm going to be highly effective for the next decade and a half. And it's a good time to be in the Terry Bean business. And thank God I'm Terry Bean. Woohoo!
Trybean.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right. Well, so let's finish this up. Let's give one, we always try to do this, one tip. Give one tip that they could take action on. I would say, maybe focusing on their site, their website. What would that be?
So if you were to take a look at your website, I want you to look at it from the eyes of your ideal customer and see what they're seeing. Think about it from their perspective, not your perspective. We spend so much time trying to sell what we have to sell. What we really need to do is focus on selling the things people want to buy, right? So think about it from that perspective. What's your prospect's journey look like? And would you like it if you were in their shoes?
Love it. I love it. Yeah, that's a great way to, you don't have to necessarily redo your entire site. You just
No.
look at it and, fix some things. So that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Okay. Well, where can they find us? Terry, I'll let you finish that out.
We can see 175 plus other episodes at businessgrowthtime.com/podcast or /blog, whichever tickles your fancy. I don't know if we're ever going to talk about the Facebook group again. What do you think?
If you don't focus on a Facebook group, you don't. And honestly, we have a page, and the best place to find, if you don't go to the website, the other best place is our Business Growth Time Instagram account.
Ooh, so many good
Because
podcasts there.
it's so visual on what we've done in the past that you could just jump to it so easily. I think that the Instagram account is really, really set up nicely too.
I love the graphics on it. You can see exactly what the topic is, and there's no fluff on that page. It's episode after episode after episode.
Yep.
So it's a great index of all the things we've done and all the ways you can add value to your life listening to Janet and I. Woohoo!
But I do want to add a
And
caveat.
others.
We do not post, if you need to subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, I don't care what platform you're using, to get the in between. We don't post that on our blog. We don't post that on our Instagram. We do shorts in between, and Terry's going to be adding his on, mine specifically with Facebook advertising. Anything Facebook advertising, you can catch up on in a minute. Any of the latest things going on, and that's in between our normal podcast episodes. So when Terry says like 179, I mean, we're probably closer to 300 when it comes to all those shorts in between. So you've got to subscribe, and that would be the best, idea, because this is a podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast from, Business Growth Time is there.
Got
That's
it.
cool. All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks,
Good
Terry.
stuff.
Thanks, you guys, for joining us.